Voting has begun in the first phase of assembly elections in India's union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is witnessing assembly elections after a period of 10 long years, and polling is being held in 24 assembly constituencies. 219 candidates across political parties are contesting the first phase of election in 7 districts of the union territory. More than 2.3 million voters are eligible to exercise their electoral franchise during this first phase. Now, this includes 566,000 youth voters. Key constituencies of the valley have more than 3,200 polling stations set up ahead of the landmark elections. Phase 1, that is today, alone will see the deployment of more than 14,000 polling officials. Meanwhile, on the security front, a 3-tier system has been put in place across the union territory, guarding each and every polling booth. There are special polling booths with extra security in areas close to the line of control and India's international borders. Now, the results of the 3-phase assembly election will be declared next month on the 8th. The polls are a first since Jammu and Kashmir's special status was revoked. With a diversified political landscape that will witness over 40% candidates contesting as independents, the polls are critical to the valley's stability and security. All right, to get us the latest of what's happening on ground, our special correspondent Idris Lone joins us live from Anantnag. Idris, we're live with you again. And of course, earlier you were in Bijbehara and you were showing us, where you are standing. Of course, polling is very much on as of now. Give us a better sense of what's happening on ground.
Well, Shubham, I'm in Anantnag district in the same constituency though, but now in a different polling booth, and we can see that hundreds of people have actually come out finally, and a huge number of people at this polling station. Not only men but women also in huge numbers have come out to participate in the electoral process. It's after 10 long years that Jammu and Kashmir is witnessing the assembly polls, and that is why we're seeing a lot of excitement among the people of South Kashmir, which used to be a hub of militancy at one point of time, but now people coming out in hordes. As you can see, huge lines of people here waiting to cast their vote at this polling station. We're also getting news from different districts like Pulwama and Kulgam, as well as Doda and Kishtwar, wherein people have started coming out finally in big numbers to cast their vote. This time the election is very interesting because the India Alliance partners, only Congress and National Conference have done a pre-poll alliance for this assembly polls, and they are pitched against the BJP. But what is interesting is that Engineer Rashid, who is the member of parliament and has been in the jail from the last 5.5 years, was released on bail just a week ago, and after that he has aggressively started to campaign for his Awami Ittihad party. And just one day before the elections, before the polling, they decided that they will go in pre-poll alliance with the Jamaat-e-Islami members. Jamaat is a banned organization, but this time their former members have decided to also fight elections after 4 long decades. So a lot of players this time in the field, especially if we talk about South Kashmir. But what is interesting is that people have come out in huge numbers to cast their votes. But who will they choose out of these so many options? Because this time the independent candidates are in huge numbers as well. There are 219 candidates this time in the fray. In the first phase, out of them, around 50% of them are independent candidates, and people have a lot to choose from.
Idris, you mentioned Kishtwar, you mentioned Pulgam, you mentioned Pulwama, of course Anantnag, where you're currently reporting from. Now, all these regions, they have seen a major uptick in encounters that we've seen in recent months ever since June. But seeing the number of people behind you, and I can hear the buzz through your mic, even though there are people at a distance, women and men in equal measure, it is very heartening to see the kind of turnout. Clearly, none of the encounters or the uptick in terror attacks have deterred people from coming out and exercising their vote. Have you got a sense of the voter sentiment? What are they looking for?
Well, absolutely. As I said, it's 10 long years. The last assembly election took place in 2014, and after that, people have been actually waiting on the ground since then to actually have a government in place. After the abrogation of Article 370, the Union Territory has been under the Lieutenant Governor's rule, and after that, having an election now is what people have been demanding and asking for a long time. The political parties on one side, especially the regional political parties, also had been pushing for this election, but then the Supreme Court also had to intervene and give order the government that the election should be held before September. And now it seems that people really wanted these elections to happen, looking at the numbers, especially when the parliamentary elections happened. At that point of time also, it was a record-breaking number that we saw on the ground, that the number of people at that point of time also came out in huge numbers to cast their vote. But this is assembly elections, and this time they have a lot of options to choose from.
Yes.
Not only the regional political parties which have been in existence for more than 50 years, but also the new parties like Awami Ittihat Party, the independent candidates
are
so
in
that's
great
why
number.
we're seeing a lot of excitement, lots of excitement on the ground.
Thank you, Idris, for getting us the latest. Of course, there'll be lots more to track with you on ground. This is just phase 1, 2 more phases to go, and until we get the results in on the 8th of October. Thank you so much, and we'll connect with you again. That was Idris Loan joining us from Anantnag.